I was standing in our kitchen under the weak yellow light above the stove. It was after midnight. The house was quiet, but it did not feel peaceful. It felt like the whole place was holding its breath. The clock kept ticking, slow and loud, like it wanted to remind me that I was still awake for a reason. My heart was beating hard in my chest. I could hear it in my ears. My hands felt cold, even though the room was not cold. Emily stood on the other side of the counter. She was my wife. We had been married for 7 years. She had her arms crossed tight against her chest. Her eyes kept moving away from me, like she was looking for an exit that was not there. She did not look at me the way she used to. She looked like someone who was already planning what to say, and also planning what not to say. Her phone was on the counter between us. The screen was glowing. Notifications were lighting up one after another. Quick flashes like tiny alarms. That phone felt like a third person in the room. It was sitting there like a witness, like a traitor, like a secret that could not keep quiet. A few minutes earlier I had seen a message pop up. Emily grabbed the phone fast when she noticed me looking, but I had already seen enough. I saw a name I did not know. Derek. I saw the tone of the message, the kind of tone that does not belong between coworkers when your wife is supposed to be on a girl's trip. My throat felt dry. I had been carrying suspicion for weeks, and it was heavy. It sat inside me like a stone. I wanted to believe I was wrong. I wanted Emily to laugh. I wanted her to roll her eyes and call me silly. I wanted her to say it was nothing and then prove it. But the air between us told me it was not nothing. I asked her anyway. I said his name and tried to keep my voice calm, but it cracked. Emily, who is Derek? She pressed her lips together. She did not answer right away. She turned toward the sink and picked up a glass and started scrubbing it like it was dirty. The problem was that the glass was already clean. She was not cleaning. She was avoiding. She said he was nobody. She said he was just a friend from the group. She said I was overthinking everything. Overthinking. That word hit me hard. It was the kind of word people use when they want to make you feel foolish. It was a way to push the blame back onto me. I stepped closer. The floor under my bare feet felt cold. I could feel the hard tile through my skin. I said the thing that had been burning in my mind since our trip started. You blocked me. Emily stopped scrubbing for 1 second. Then she kept going. She kept her back half turned to me. I said it again, slower, so she could not pretend she did not hear it. On a trip with your friends, you blocked your husband. Why would you do that? My words hung in the room. They felt sharp. They felt heavy. They felt like they could cut through anything if she would just answer honestly. Emily turned around so fast that the glass in her hand clinked against the sink. Her hazel eyes flashed. For a moment, I thought I saw guilt. Then I thought maybe I saw anger. Then I thought maybe it was both. She said she needed space. She said I was always hovering, always checking, always watching. She said it was suffocating. That hurt more than I expected. I had given her so much space over the years. I had supported her career. I had stayed quiet during her long work weeks. I had swallowed my doubts many times because I thought love meant patience. I thought trust meant staying calm when things felt strange. I thought being a good husband meant not turning every worry into a fight. But now she was calling me suffocating, like I was the problem. I pointed at the phone. The screen had gone dark, but it still felt like it was staring at me. I asked her why her phone kept lighting up with his name. I said you do not block someone you love unless you're hiding something. Emily laughed, but it was not a warm laugh. It was bitter. It did not reach her eyes. Then she looked at me with a face I did not recognize and said something that made my chest tighten. She called me pathetic. She said I was digging through her phone like a jealous teenager. She said maybe she blocked me because she could not stand my neediness anymore. Her words came fast, like punches. Each one landed. I stood there trying to breathe, trying not to show how much it hurt, but it felt like the room was tilting. It felt like the woman I built my life with was tearing it apart while acting like it was funny. I wanted to shout. I wanted to demand the truth. I wanted to grab the phone and make her show me everything. But something in her eyes stopped me. It was cold. It was controlled. It was like she was not just angry. It was like she was daring me. Like she wanted me to break. So I did not scream. I did not beg. I did not keep arguing in the kitchen. I grabbed my keys from the hook by the door. I walked out. As I opened the door, I told her I was done guessing. I said I would find out myself. My voice sounded low and steady, but inside I was shaking. I did not fully understand what I meant yet. I only knew I could not stay in that kitchen with her acting like this and pretend everything was normal. Outside, the night air hit my face. It was cold and sharp. I stood on the porch for a second and tried to calm my breathing. Then I pulled out my phone and texted her friend Sarah, who was on the trip with her. I kept it short. Just a few words. Tell Emily I know. I did not even know exactly what I knew, but I knew something was wrong. I knew I was not crazy. 15 minutes later, my phone lit up again and again. Emily was calling me. She called so many times my screen looked like a warning sign. 30 missed calls. Then more. Then messages. I did not answer. Not yet. Before that night, my life felt simple. I am Nathan Carter. I am 34 years old. I teach high school history in suburban Columbus, Ohio. Most days my life is the same pattern. I wake up early. I make coffee. I check my lesson plans. I drive to school while the sun is still low and pale. I walk into a building filled with loud teenagers who think the world started yesterday. I teach them about wars, laws, rights, mistakes, and the ways people repeat the same stories. I grade essays under buzzing lights. I tell kids to use evidence. I coach the chess club after school. I tell students that every move has a cost and every choice has a reason. Then I go home. Emily and I live in a modest 2-bedroom house. The floors creaked. The backyard was a half-finished dream we kept promising to fix. We always said we would plant better grass, build a small patio, maybe add lights. We always said someday. Emily worked at a law firm. She was smart. She was driven. She could argue like she was born in a courtroom. She worked long hours. She took calls late at night. She had work trips and dinners and meetings that felt far away from my quiet world of textbooks and hallway duty. I used to be proud of her. I still was proud of her in some ways. I liked seeing her in her sharp suits, confident and focused. I liked hearing her talk about winning a difficult case. I liked watching her light up when she felt powerful. So when she went on trips with her college friends, I did not stop her. When she worked late, I did not accuse her. When she said she was stressed, I tried to help. I cooked most nights. She loved pasta, so I made pasta a lot. I cleaned the kitchen. I took care of things so she could rest. I thought we were happy, or at least I thought we were steady. But over the last few weeks, small things started to feel wrong. Emily held her phone closer. She turned the screen away when she texted. She smiled at messages and then hid the smile when she noticed me. She came home smelling like perfume that was not hers, a sharp floral scent that did not match the soap we used. When I asked about it, she brushed it off. She said someone at the office wore strong perfume. She said it got on her coat. I wanted to believe her. I told myself not to be dramatic. Then came the girls' trip. Emily said she was going to Miami with Sarah and 2 other friends. She showed me the photos of the rental and the beach. She talked about needing a break. I kissed her goodbye. I helped her pack. I told her to have fun. Then, after the first day, I tried to call her. It went straight to voicemail. I tried again. Same thing. I texted her. The message showed as not delivered. That is when I realized I was blocked. Blocked. That word does not belong in a marriage. Not like that. Not without a serious reason. That night in the kitchen was when the crack became a break. I cannot unsee it. After I left the house, I drove without really thinking. I ended up in an empty parking lot by a 24-hour diner near Route 33. The neon sign flickered, turning the inside of my car red for a moment, then dim again. I sat there with my hands on the steering wheel. My phone kept vibrating on the passenger seat. Emily's name kept showing up. At first her messages sounded confused. Then they sounded angry. Then they sounded pleading. Nathan, call me back. You do not understand. I did not read the rest. I did not want her story yet. I wanted the truth. So I called Sarah instead. Sarah answered on the second ring. Her voice was sharp and sleepy, like I had dragged her out of a dream. She asked what the hell I was doing. I told her Emily blocked me. I told her I saw a message from a man named Derek. I asked who he was. There was silence on the line. Not the normal kind. It was heavy. It was the kind of silence that means someone is thinking hard about what to say and what not to say. I said do not cover for her. I deserve the truth. Sarah sighed. It sounded like she was tired of secrets. Then she said it was not what I thought. She said Derek was someone from Emily's firm. She said they were working on a big case. She said Emily did not want me worrying. Her words felt rehearsed, like she was reading a script. I asked again why Emily would block me, why she was panicking now. Sarah told me Emily was stressed. She told me to talk to my wife and not do anything stupid. Then she hung up. I stared at my dark phone screen and saw my own reflection. My face looked older than it should. My eyes looked tired. I felt like a ghost in my own life. I drove home through quiet streets. The city lights blurred past. When I pulled into the driveway, our house was dark. The porch light we always left on was off. That felt wrong. Inside, Emily's coat was gone. Her keys were not on the table. Her favorite mug was still in the sink. Her absence was loud. I sat on the couch and tried to make Sarah's story fit. Stress. Work. Big case. But it did not match the way Emily talked to me in the kitchen. It did not match the block calls. It did not match the messages from Derek. So I did something I'm not proud of. I opened my laptop and searched Derek's name with the law firm. At first I found nothing useful. Then I found a LinkedIn profile. Derek Harper, senior associate. The picture showed him smiling like he owned the room. Tailored suit. Clean haircut. Confident eyes. The kind of face that looks harmless until it is not. I cannot explain it, but seeing his face made my stomach twist. I closed the laptop and tried to sleep, but I could not. I kept hearing Emily calling me pathetic. I kept seeing her phone light up. I kept hearing the word suffocating. Around 1 in the morning, I saw a new text from Emily. Nathan, please. I'm coming home. We need to talk. Coming home. She was supposed to be in Miami until Sunday. My pulse jumped. Was she coming home because she missed me or because she was scared? I almost texted back. Then I deleted the message. I did not want to play on her terms. I called my brother Lucas instead. Lucas lives in Dayton, about an hour away. He is different from me. He is loud. He is impulsive. He has always been the one who acts first and thinks later. He once punched a hole in a bar wall over a stupid card game. He is the type of person who does not fear conflict. When he answered, he groaned and asked why I was calling so late. I told him I thought Emily was cheating. I told him about the blocking. I told him about Derek. I told him about the kitchen fight. Lucas asked if I had proof. That stung, but he was right. I had feelings and signs and fear, but no hard proof. Lucas told me to find something real. He said people slip up somewhere. He said check her email, her receipts, her accounts. He said if she is hiding something, it will show up in details. That idea hit me like a light turning on. Emily used a laptop at home sometimes. An old MacBook she kept in the study. She did not take it on the trip. It was still there. I went into the study and picked it up like it was a dangerous object. My hands were shaking. I told myself this was wrong. I told myself I should not do it. But I also told myself she blocked me first. She created this war. I did not start it. I opened the laptop. It asked for a password. I tried her anniversary date. It failed. I tried her birthday. It failed. I tried her old childhood nickname. It failed. I took a breath and typed something that made my skin crawl. Derek 0718. The screen unlocked. I froze. My mouth went dry. It could have been a coincidence, but it did not feel like one. It felt like a slap. I opened her email. There were hundreds of messages. Most were work emails, legal threads, schedules, cases, client notes. Then I saw a folder labeled miscellaneous. Inside it, one email subject stood out. Tonight. It was from Derek Harper. My hand shook as I clicked. I felt like I was stepping off a cliff. The email was short. Too short. Like they already talked about the details somewhere else. It said, meet me at the usual spot at 9. It said, do not overthink it. It had no warm ending. No joke. No normal office tone. Just a message and his name. The usual spot. That phrase made my blood run cold. I checked the date. 2 weeks earlier. That was a night Emily told me she was working late on a deposition. I remembered making spaghetti that night. I remembered leaving a plate in the fridge for her. I remembered her coming home near midnight and kissing my cheek like nothing happened. Now I remembered that unfamiliar perfume again. I searched her inbox for Derek's name. I found mostly case-related emails, nothing personal. Then I checked her trash folder. There was another email from Derek. Deleted but still there. Subject, you sure? The message said, this is bigger than us. If you are in, we need to move fast. My stomach twisted. Bigger than us. That did not sound like an affair anymore. It sounded like a plan. It sounded like a scheme. My mind raced through possibilities. Money. Fraud. Blackmail. Something tied to her firm. Something she could not explain to me without risking her career, or worse. I barely had time to think before I heard a car door slam outside. My heart jumped into my throat. I snapped the laptop shut and shoved it under a stack of papers like a kid hiding a bad report card. Then I moved toward the window and peeked through the blinds. Emily's silver Audi was in the driveway. She was home. She got out of the car with her phone pressed to her ear. She looked tense. She looked like she had been crying, or maybe trying not to cry. My breath caught. Had Sarah warned her, did Emily come back because she knew I was digging? The front door opened. Her heels clicked on the floor. Nathan, she called out, and her voice sounded tight and nervous. I stayed silent for a second, listening to her steps, feeling my heart slam against my ribs. Then I stepped into the hallway. Emily froze when she saw me. For the first time that night, I saw fear in her face. She asked why I did not answer her calls. She tried to sound firm, but her voice shook. I told her she blocked me first. I asked her again who Derek was. She said he was a colleague. She said it was work. Her words were smooth, but her hands betrayed her. She kept twisting the edge of her dress. I told her what I saw. I told her about the email and the usual spot and the phrase bigger than us. Her face drained of color. Then she realized what I had done. She asked if I went through her email. Her voice got sharp, like she wanted to flip the situation and make me the villain. She called it low. I laughed, but it was bitter. I told her she did not get to play victim when she was the one hiding things and blocking me and sneaking around. Emily tried to shift into calm mode. She told me to sit down. She said she would explain. I did not trust it. It felt like a trap, like she wanted time to build a better story. But I needed answers, so I followed her to the living room. We sat on the couch with space between us. That space felt like a canyon. Emily started speaking slowly, carefully. She said Derek was not what I thought. She said he was a colleague. Yes, but they were working on a sensitive situation. She called it a high-stakes client issue. She said there was a conflict of interest to the firm, so they were handling parts of it quietly. She said if it leaked, it could ruin her career. She said she blocked me because she was afraid anyone could see her phone. She said it was not personal. I listened, but the story felt too neat, too polished. I asked who the client was. I asked what the usual spot was. She hesitated. Then she said it was just a bar near the office, a place where they went to decompress. She named it the Rusty Anchor. I had heard of it. We went there once, years ago, as a joke. But she said it too quickly, like she needed a real place to make the lie sound true. While she was talking, my phone buzzed in my pocket. It was a text from Lucas. Found something on Derek. Call me. My heart jumped. I looked at Emily. She was watching my face, trying to read me. I kept my voice steady and told her I needed more than her story. I told her she expected me to accept it while she refused to show me her phone and refused to give me names. Emily tried again. She said confidentiality. She said I did not understand legal work. She said I was making everything harder. Then she reached out and touched my knee like she wanted to pull me back into the role of the trusting husband. I pulled away. I asked for her phone right now. Her eyes widened. That reaction told me everything. Her phone was her fortress, her shield, her vault. She refused. She said I was acting insane. She said I was humiliating myself. I told her she humiliated me when she blocked me and lied. I told her to give me the phone or I was done asking nicely. Emily stood and her face turned cold. She said she was not giving me her phone. She said if I wanted to tear us apart, that was on me. Then she turned and started walking toward the stairs. Her heels clicked like a countdown. As she left, my phone buzzed again. This time it was Lucas, and the message made my stomach drop. Derek is not just a lawyer. Check your email. Sent you a file. I pulled my phone out and opened my email. Lucas had sent an attachment. I clicked it, and my hand started shaking again. The file was a PDF. It had screenshots, notes, links, and messy captions. It looked like Lucas made it in a rush, throwing pieces together like he was trying to stop a fire. There was a photo of Derek at a fancy event. There were screenshots of bank transfers. Big amounts. Not normal paychecks. Not normal legal fees. The transfers went to an account labeled DH Consulting. There were notes about offshore accounts. There were mentions of discreet services and high-profile clients and money moving fast. My throat tightened. This was not just cheating. This was something darker. Emily's story about a secret client suddenly felt like a half-truth hiding a bigger truth. I looked toward the stairs. I could hear the shower running. Emily was stalling, or cleaning herself up, or planning, or all of it. I forwarded the file to my work email because I did not trust that it would stay safe on my phone. I wanted copies. I wanted evidence. I wanted something she could not erase with one swipe. I sat on the couch, staring at the wall, feeling like my life was turning into a nightmare I did not choose. Then Lucas texted again. Call me. Found a name tied to the account. A name. That meant the puzzle was getting clearer. I started to dial him, but the shower stopped. Footsteps creaked upstairs. Emily was coming back down. I slipped my phone into my pocket again, trying to look normal, trying to keep control. Emily stepped into the living room with damp hair and a robe pulled tight around her. She looked softer, almost fragile, like she wanted to remind me of the Emily I used to know. She asked if we could stop fighting. She said she hated this. For 1 second, I almost believed her. For 1 second, I wanted to sit back down and pretend this was a misunderstanding. Then I remembered her refusal, her anger, her fear when I mentioned Derek, her harsh words in the kitchen. I stood up. I told her she was the one dodging the truth. I told her she had given me stories, not answers. I asked her what DH Consulting was. The moment I said those words, her face changed. She froze like a deer in headlights. Her mouth opened slightly. Her eyes darted around like she was searching for a way out. She asked where I heard that. I told her she was digging into things I did not understand. She told me to stop before I ruined everything. That sentence turned my stomach. Ruined everything. I said she ruined everything when she blocked me and lied. I said I knew about transfers. Offshore money. Big amounts. I told her she was in it. Emily stepped forward and her voice became urgent. She said I was wrong. She said she was protecting me. She said if I kept pushing, I would get hurt. We both would. It did not sound like a loving warning. It sounded like a threat wrapped in concern. My phone buzzed again. Lucas. Name is Victor Grayson. Big player. Call now. My blood went cold. Victor Grayson was not just a random name in Columbus. People knew that name. He was a real estate tycoon. He had shiny ads and big donations, but he also had dark rumors. People whispered about corrupt deals. People joked about him owning half the city. People also avoided saying his name too loud, like it could bring trouble. If Emily and Derek were tied to Victor Grayson, this was not a small scam. This was serious. I looked at Emily and asked her if that was who she was protecting. Her eyes widened, and she made a small sound like she could not stop it. That reaction was an answer. I asked her to tell me I was wrong. She did not. Emily started crying then, and I could not tell if the tears were real or if they were another move. She said she did not want this. She said Derek pulled her in. She said it started as one deal. One thing. She said Victor Grayson does not let go once he has you. She said she blocked me to keep me out of it. She said she came home early to make sure I would not dig deeper. She said she loved me. I wanted to believe that part. I wanted to believe love was still real somewhere under the lies. But love does not look like blocked calls and secret emails and offshore transfers. Love does not call you pathetic when you ask for truth. I pulled my phone out. I dialed Lucas. I kept my eyes on Emily the whole time. Lucas answered instantly and asked if I was okay. He told me Grayson was bad news. He told me police had tried to get him for years, but could never make it stick. He said the guy was careful and protected. I asked Lucas to send me everything he had. Emily sank to the floor, sobbing, and she looked small for the first time in a long time. But I did not feel mercy. I felt tired. I felt betrayed. I felt angry at how my quiet life had been dragged into something ugly. Then I made a choice that I knew I could not undo. I forwarded the file again, this time to someone outside my circle. I had a friend from college who worked at the Columbus Dispatch. We were not best friends, but he owed me a favor from years ago when I helped him through a hard time. He was a reporter. He was stubborn. He loved a big story. He also knew how to protect sources, at least better than most people. I sent him the file. I wrote a short note asking him to look into Derek Harper, DH Consulting, and Victor Grayson. When I hit send, my hands shook. Emily looked up at me from the floor. Her eyes were hollow, like the fear had eaten everything else. She told me I had killed us both. She said I did not understand what kind of man Grayson was. Maybe she was right. Maybe I did not. But I also knew I could not go back to being the man who stayed quiet while his wife played dangerous games with dangerous people. I had been a pawn on her board, and I did not even know it. Now I had made my own move. I did not know what would happen next. I did not know if exposing this would protect me or destroy me. I did not know if the truth would save my life or ruin it. I only knew that I could not live with lies anymore. So now I'm asking the question I cannot stop asking myself. Did I do the right thing? Or did I just burn my whole world down?